It's time to take this Nissan GT-R. No. What is this? Well, as you can see, this is why I only stick to my Nissans. You know, I review a Porsche and here I am. You know, I knew this car attracted attention, but I think I may have attracted the wrong kind of attention. So, my name is Nismo Nick, and I came all the way to Arrowhead Audi for their Cars and Coffee event this Sunday to film some cool Nissans. And as I looked around, there weren't any Nissans. So next to me, I found this, I think it's a Porsche. It says GT something on the side, so it sounds cool. So come with me while I film a brand new Porsche sports car. So you think that I may be nervous reviewing a car that's not a Nissan. However, this Porsche actually has a lot of things in common with multiple Nissans. Would you like to hear what those things are? I'll tell you. So as you can see, this is a coupe. This Porsche has 2 doors. Do you know what else has 2 doors? A Nissan Altima coupe. This Porsche is giving me Porsche energy. So big Altima energy, Porsche energy. Is it the same, just different price tags? I mean, the Altima coupe has 2 doors. This has 2 doors, so they're the same, right? As you can see up front, this Porsche has vents for cooling of the brakes while you're on the track. Do you know what else has vents for cooling of the front brakes? The Nissan Rogue. So the Porsche has vents in the front for cooling of the brakes, and so does the Nissan Rogue. However, the Rogue can fit 5 people. This can only fit 2 people. I think the Rogue wins this one. So let's talk about the back of this car, specifically the badging. Porsche GT3RS. All I see in my mind is GTR. What is the 3? What is the S? Yes, I'm thinking about the Nissan GTR, but if the Nissan GTR is like Nissan's Halo sports car, and this is one of their top sports car, why can't we just call this the GTR? You guys might think that this is for aero. Someone told me that the spoiler is so big on this car for track use. I think it is a perfect place to eat my Porsche pastry and have a delicious iced coffee. I think it's more table than functional aero. So another thing that this has in common with another Nissan product, let's talk about the full-size Nissan Titan pickup truck. Now you're probably thinking, what does a Nissan Titan have in common with a GT3RS? Very simple. 14 miles per gallon. So now let's pop the hood of this GT3RS and take a peek at this engine. This is an engine cover? Where's the engine? Is this electric? So I just recently found out that the engine of this car is actually back here in the back of the car. Mine's blown. But now I want to go on vacation. Where do I put my luggage? Okay, so that's where the oil goes. So apparently what I have found out is there's no storage in this car. You have a cup holder and you have a little tiny floor, and that's that. But who is really taking this car on vacation? If I spent $250,000 on a car, I would probably be living in it at that point. So I wouldn't have much stuff, but no storage. So let's talk about price. So this car behind me is just around $250,000. That's like 20 Nissan Versas. That's like 12 Nissan Sentras. That's almost 2 GTRs. That, what, 6 Nissan Zs? I mean, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a gaggle of Nissan Versas or a Porsche? I mean, big Altima energy, big Porsche energy, what are you gonna pay for? So one thing that I really love about this car and a lot of Porsches in this class is the lack of safety features. So what does that mean? That means that there's no blind spot monitoring, there's no lane keep assist, there's no adaptive cruise control. It's simply an analog sports car, which I think is actually pretty cool. And a lot of other sports cars, they do have all those things and you kind of have to turn them off and they get annoying. However, this car is kind of just set up ready to go. I mean, the backup camera is kind of your only real safety feature to see behind you. But other than that, it's just to get in, hit the gas, and just really go. And I think that's a really cool selling point of something in this category. There's other cars in this kind of supercar price range, but I think this may be the most track focused, especially with the exterior looks and the lack of those safety controls. So one thing that's weird about this car, not just this car, but a lot of Porsches, I think all Porsches actually, is where the key is or how you turn the car on. There is I guess you can call it an ignition switch that you actually turn on to start the car. However, it's on the driver's side, and I've always thought that that was a weird Porsche thing. Way back in the day, and I can't even believe I'm admitting this, I had a Porsche. I had a Porsche Macan for a very short amount of time, and it had the same thing, and I hated it. I don't get it. Maybe you Porsche people can tell me, but it's there, it works, but I don't get it. So let's talk about the interior of this car. If you look around, it's actually pretty normal. You have your headlights and blinker, you have your cruise control, you have your wipers. But then you get to the steering wheel, and this is where my mind explodes. What is PASM? I know it's a Porsche something. I know, I actually do know what it is, but as a person that gets in this car, PASM, like spasm? I don't know. Then you've got PTV Plus. In my small little mind, that sounds like Porsche television. Whatever it is, I don't know. Then you go to obviously traction control, that's normal, and then drive mode. So these two I'm good at, but then you've got the spasm and the Porsche television button. Sure. So here's what blows my mind. You have just spent $250,000 on a car, and you know how you get out of it? You pull a lanyard, like a lanyard that you wear around your neck that you clip keys to. So you're telling me that I have just given you $250,000 and I open my door with a lanyard? Now I get it. I know why it's there. Do not yell at me. But a lanyard? So let's talk about the wheel setup on this car. So 99% of cars have lug nuts. The Nissan GT3 has lug nuts. This has a center lock. So in the world of racing, it's quick to get a wheel off and on. For daily driving, I guess it's kind of the same thing. I mean, sure, does it look cool? Yeah. Does it function better? Probably, but I mean, maybe I want to put my own lug nuts on. Now, I know that I said some crazy stuff about this car today. I mean, I compared it to an Altima. However, I do know a lot of things about this car and what truly do make it special. I respect this car for what it is. I love it for what it is. It's just not a car for me. I'm Nismo Nick. I'm not Porsche Paul. I am not the purist that loves everything to do with this car, but the main thing is I appreciate it. And I hope you guys did too. I think the people that know what this car is, love it for what it is, the lineage, the history, and I am very happy I got to give you kind of my take on this car. And make sure you guys like and subscribe for future content, not just with Nissans, but as you can see, Porsches and whatever crazy thing I film next. I'll see you guys later.